President Karzai, thank you very much. It's lovely to see you once again.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
And thank you for talking to me.
Pleased to meet you again.
And I don't know if you remember the last time when we met. It was in 2007.
I do.
We met in Delhi.
In Delhi.
And in the course of that interview, I asked you point blank where you think Osama bin Laden was. And do you remember what you said?
Yes, that he's in Pakistan.
Yes. And in fact, I pursued it further and I asked, where in Pakistan? You said Quetta.
Well, I was wrong about Quetta, but right about Pakistan.
But he could have moved between Quetta and other places.
That's a prediction I can't make.
Pakistanis were not happy with your comment at that point of time.
At that time?
No, they were not.
Well, sure, of course.
How were you so sure?
We had a sense, a feeling, not intelligence, just an experience.
Why I'm beginning by asking you this, President Karzai, is because there are many ways of looking at what has happened in the last 5 years since I last met you. If you knew and if you had a sense, is it possible that the Americans didn't know?
Well, I can't talk for the Americans, but we lived in this region and in Afghanistan. We have an experience for so many years. So we had the basics, as far as information is concerned, of the goings on in our part of the world. And that led us to believe things that we believed and that turned out true.
But has the problem been addressed clearly enough since then? The root cause of terror
that
emanates from Pakistan?
No, the killing of Osama bin Laden has not taken terrorism out. We still suffer from it in Afghanistan. Also, we suffer from it in Pakistan in a big way now. And India suffers from time to time as well in a significant way. Therefore, it is a problem that we all face. And since Pakistan is suffering too, there is a recognition of the difficulties. There is a recognition that radicalism is not going to provide any purpose, any help to any cause, but rather that it's hurting us all. And I hope we can move together in fighting it and eliminating it.
Has enough been done by Pakistan in your view? We've
had quite an extensive contact with our brothers and sisters in Pakistan. We've had the best of relations in the past many years, especially since the democratic government came to Pakistan. Relations improved considerably, and overnight we continue to have difficulties in addressing the question of terrorism. But we at least now have an open venue for dialogue between us and the Pakistanis, and regular visits are taking place. So yes. I hope that will lead us to a desirable outcome.
On October 4th this year, you said that NATO and Afghanistan should fight this war where terrorism stems from, but the United States is not ready to go and fight the terrorists there. This shows a double game. They say one thing and do something else. They should go to the safe havens where terrorism is financed and manufactured. President Karzai, I want you unequivocally to explain what you meant with that very straightforward comment.
Well, the comment is clear enough to take references from. The war on terror cannot be won in Afghanistan, or by bombing or shelling or launching raids on Afghan homes and villages. We have been telling the United States for years now that if this is a war on terror, it isn't in Afghanistan. It isn't to be found in Afghanistan. That the United States and the international community must go to the sanctuaries, to the training grounds, to the motivational factors, to the financial support systems to it. And that is not in Afghanistan. If they ever found any such element in Afghanistan, well, they are legitimate to come and launch an attack on that target. But those targets are not in the Afghan villages. They should go where they find them.
And where are those centers? In Pakistan, for sure.
Sure. Well, it's no longer a secret in Pakistan. Pakistan doesn't deny that anymore. there's now a frank dialogue on this issue. The region is how should I put it? Should I say infested by it, or that they have sanctuaries in this region? And it's for the good of us all to be clear and to speak about it and to address it.
You snapped. When you made that comment, you clearly had snapped. I mean, you've been very patient for a long period of time, and 2012 has been a difficult year. There have been instances of a lot of atrocities against your people.
Tremendous atrocities.
Tremendous atrocities on the people of Afghanistan, and pictures coming out of the manner in which American troops, for example,
yes,
the pictures of American soldiers urinating on dead Afghan bodies, so much outrage, not just in Afghanistan, here in India. Across the world, you held your patience. President Karzai, is your patience wearing thin a little bit?
Well, it did wear thin long time back, and this has been conveyed to the U.S. government repeatedly in our bilateral talks, and also at times when we have felt the need through the media, so to drive a point home towards them. We have done that, and I hope that now with the re-election of President Obama, and I expect as well that we will be sitting down to a very frank conversation so we can find answers to these questions. Yeah, we will be a partner in the war on terror. But the war on terror cannot be fought in Afghanistan because it isn't in Afghanistan. It has to go to the sanctuaries of it, where those sanctuaries are, in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, wherever.
They're in Pakistan. You just said they're in Pakistan.
Wherever they are. Wherever.
And
this is not to say that they are in Pakistan and that we accuse Pakistan. No, this is to find a solution to a problem. It will not be right for me to keeping in mind the difficult relations that India and Pakistan have to speak in India about Pakistan. But we are not talking about in terms of accusing one another. But this is
I understand.
This is to find a solution to a problem that is affecting us all, including Pakistan. So I'm talking of finding solutions to a problem that is affecting us all very, very seriously. Our lives are threatened. Look at the case of Malala Yousafzai. The United Nations has declared Saturday to be a day for education,
Yes.
and is naming her as the hero for a cause. Afghan girls, Afghan boys, Afghan youth suffered for 10 years. Schools were burned, teachers attacked, women attacked, schoolgirls, schoolboys attacked, acid thrown in their faces. And we knew that one day, sooner or later, this was going to engulf also lives in Pakistan. It has unfortunately happened there too. Therefore, it has become a problem for all of us, and therefore, it is time that we speak very clearly about our problems and find solutions.
And why is it then that when there are very strong reasons for you to feel the way that you do, and when you say today that yes, your patience is worn thin, you've also held yourself back, I'm sure, President Karzai, quite a bit.
With regard to whom?
With regard to these incidents. I mean, I wonder today how, when a U.S. Army sergeant methodically kills 16 civilians, 9 of them children, in the Kandahar province. I wonder how you respond and how you hold yourself back.
With regard to the United States, we have been very clear, especially on incidents like
Yes.
that, very clear. But with regard to our region and to Pakistan, we are neighbors and we are brothers, and we are trying to seek solutions. So if you compare my attitude as the president of Afghanistan towards the United States and where they have committed wrong, we have spoken clearly and directly. With Pakistan and the question of radicalism and terrorism, we have taken, especially I have taken particularly in the past 5 or 6 years, perhaps since the interview you and I had, a more moderate, a more conciliatory, a more brotherly approach.
You've tried very hard.
Very, very hard to have fundamentally different relations with Pakistan, a good one, a brotherly one, and in one in which we both address the question of radicalism.
You called your Pakistan and Afghanistan twin brothers.
Twin brothers, we are twins, and that's why we must find solutions to our problems.
Going back to when you said that, when you expressed your views, we saw a very strong reaction from the U.S. Defense Secretary Leon Panetta, who said, talking about you, I think it would be helpful if the president, referring to you, every once in a while expressed his thanks for the sacrifices that have been made by those who have fought and died for Afghanistan rather than criticizing them. He wanted you and your government, particularly you, to be more grateful for the sacrifices of the American people.
Well, we are grateful for the help that the American taxpayer has given us. It's a hard-working nation. They earn the money that they send to help us. We are very, very grateful for that. We are also mindful and recognizing the sacrifices of American troops in Afghanistan. What we are also doing is clearly to remind them that some of their practices are wrong and are not helping the cause, but rather working against the cause. That is casualties in Afghanistan, that is raiding Afghan homes, that is the manner in which corruption is spreading through the contracts that they give, and all other issues. So categorically, we have said that the United States is a partner, and we are grateful to the American people, but these are problems that we must solve, and those problems must be spoken about and must be dealt with more clearly.
Have you been disappointed a little bit by Barack Obama's first term and what they promised and what they have delivered to you?
Well, on Afghanistan, we have issues with them. The issues that I just mentioned earlier. And we want those issues addressed. And while we are addressing these issues, we also want the transition to Afghan security forces completed in time. In 2013, and the withdrawal of international forces from Afghanistan completed in time in 2014, the end of 2014. So Afghanistan would conduct its own security and provide, for its people through our own forces. These are the issues that we are working on, and that's where I expect results to come to us.
Why have results not come so far? Pretty basic issues, President Karzai, such as how many American troops will actually remain in Afghanistan after 2014? One. B, what kind of immunity they will get? Will they have the immunity to enter an Afghan home, conduct a search, kill people?
No way.
Operate in the way that they want?
No way. No.
You
never.
say no way?
No, never. We don't even want them to do that now. This is one of the issues between us. We have a strategic partnership with the United States that we signed about 7-8 months ago.
Yes.
And the Afghan people have supported this partnership with America in a low jargon that we had last year. Now, the Afghan people would like to enter into a security agreement with the United States, a bilateral security agreement. But that security agreement has to keep into consideration the views of the Afghan people and the sanctity of Afghan homes and the interest of the Afghan people.
Will America really walk away from the region? Or will they want to have an entrenched presence in the region?
Well, they are negotiating with us a security agreement that indicates a presence.
Do you believe that America needs to have a presence in this region beyond a point of time? Let's look at the bigger perspective.
From an American perspective or from an Afghan perspective?
From a purely Afghan perspective.